Hi, this is part of a video series comparing AutoCAD commands. In this case, we're not looking necessarily at commands, but rather the difference between a line type and a line type scale. Now, in order to adjust line type, you have to use the properties, and in order to adjust line type scale, you have to use the properties palette. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that up. And you can see here is a continuous line type. And then here, I'm going to make all of these have the dash dot times 2. Okay, they will be hidden. And then all of these, I will make the ISO double dash double dot line type. So these are all different line types. And you can see right now they're all at the default line type scale of 1. So for dash dot, you can see it makes a difference, but hidden and the ISO line type, it still looks like it's a regular line. You can only tell that it has a different line type because when you hover over it, it tells you that. So now let's go ahead with all of these and make them line type scale of 0.25, and let's see what happens to each of them. Okay, so here, the dash dot, it just looks solid now. It says that it's dash dot, but it looks continuous. Same thing with hidden. However, with the ISO line type, it actually became more obvious what it is. So let's go ahead and make all of these a line type scale of 3.5. Okay, so now it looks like all the customary ones, all the customary line types, the bigger your line type scale, it seems like, the more you can actually see the line type. But with the ISO, it looks continuous again. And that makes sense because if it looked better with 0.25 than it did with 1, if we get even bigger than 1, it's just going to look worse. So here's a line type scale of 10. And you can see that now the dash dot looks hideous, looks continuous again. And that's because we've gotten so big that we're just seeing these straight parts between it. So let me go ahead and change just that one to say 6. And you can see why at a 10, it looked like there weren't any dots at all. There were, they were just beyond our figure. The hidden looks really nice as a 10, and as we expected, so this still looks continuous. Let's go ahead and change this to 0.01. You can see, again, just like with the 10, it's so big, we're just getting all of these. So now let's try 0.1. Now let's get a little bit bigger. We know 0.25 was great. Let's try 0.5. Okay, so it turns out that it is going in the same direction, that it looks better, bigger, but it still has to be less than 1 in order for all of the features to show up. So let's say 0.4. There we go. We're starting to get something a little bit better. Not as good as the 0.25, I want to show the double dots in that one corner. So let's try 0.2. And look what I'm having to do. I'm having to really trial and error it. You get to know line types and you get to know what they require. And that is why your CAD manager probably tells you what line types to use so that they're limited in scope. That is the video comparing line type and line type scale for various line types so you can understand how that works.